Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. You know what? Last minute, I just decided I do not like that thumbnail. Of course, I am recycling. So let me see here. I'm going to repurpose. All right. I think I'll use this one again. Okay. Yep, I think that should do it. Cool. All right, that works. Well, we're not going to be on that long today anyway. So, got that done. The mic is working. Just bring up the slides and we're good. Yeah, what was I thinking? Can't have weird beard again. I just used that. Okay. All right, let me bring my slides up and we're good. Okay. There we go. All right, let me see who was here first. Lydia Washington, thank you so much for being here first. And Helen Marmon, and a host of friends and others. Let's see if we can do 30 minutes. Wouldn't that be cool? All right. So that's ready. Yes, there we go. And then I'll be all rested up for Harry's appearance at the Well Child tomorrow, which is the 30th. That is when we should expect to see him. So if it's at nighttime, let me see. Let's see, 6 p.m. for them is like noon for us, I think. 5 p.m. Yeah. So I think it's going to be about noon, maybe 1 p.m. Central Time. Hello, Maurice Brown, Mary H., Gwendolyn Daniels, Mamie Ricks. Hello, Carlita Simone, Ingrid Soares, Cookies and Cream, and a host of friends and others. Okay, here goes. Harry and Meghan missing millions. Archewell Foundation didn't declare $4 million in latest tax returns as all eyes turn. Really, as all eyes. Not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. Much to do about nothing. Everything that the Sussexes has done thus far has been above board, and they amplify the smallest oversights to try to make them into something bigger. And you know what this does is that it is nothing but feed for the derangers who have been very prompt to um, regurgitate a bunch of this nonsense. So, very unusual, but um, consider the source. Consider the source, if you will. Okay. Let me move this over here so I can see what's going on. Yeah, that works. Okay. So, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's fight back in a ludicrous missing millions claim. This is the Express News. This is the Express News. It says sources have hit back at ludicrous claims the Sussex's charity Archewell has hidden charity funds in missing millions scandal. And this was written by Nathan Kay, the weekend editor. And it says source close to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have hit back at ludicrous claims The couple's charity Archewell has hidden charity funds in a missing million scandal. A missing million scandal. If you know that your worst enemies are going to go over your finances, over any publicly submitted documents, right? Any official documents, chances are you're not going to do anything that will draw negative attention. So, that being said, Mail Online claimed today that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were given two grants of more than 4.5 million pounds or $6 million over the last 2 years, but are missing from the charity's latest 990 tax returns. However, Archewell told the publication that the records, which declared $2,911 in the latest returns, are correct, and the money will appear on the next tax return. Express.com launched this. I can't believe I'm saying this. Express.com launched this. Okay, let me try this one more time. It's just that I can't believe I'm saying it. Express.com launched its own investigation this morning and found that the Sussex's records are 100% correct. You see it. That's a screenshot. That is a screenshot. Fidelity Charitable 990 captures grants they made from July 2022 to June 2023. Archewell Foundation's 990 capture all donations received from January to December 2022. All donations received in 2023 will appear in the Archewell Foundation 990 as standard at the end of this year. It's so unfair. Did I tell you this is the Express? It's so unfair to do this to a charity when they have done everything correct, said a source. The claims are ludicrous because the Sussexes have always been upfront and transparent about their finances. Something like this can have a very damaging, can be very damaging, especially as it's extremely misleading. Prince Harry flew into London this weekend for his appearance at the Well Child Awards tomorrow, September 30th. Have I just stepped into the looking glass? Have I taken the leave of my senses? Wait. Who's the president of the United States? How old am I? How many fingers do I have up? Like I said, this is the Express. So, much to do about nothing. Still strange. I wonder if that means that they're just, trying to distract so they can do something else later on. But yeah, okay. There you go. You see it. That is a screenshot, right? That is as it was written, and so on. However, the fears that the Duke's security in the UK have been amplified. Okay, we don't care about that. According to a source, okay. Yeah. This is just to fatten up the story a bit. Okay, don't need that. Prince William is not revealing what he paid in taxes, breaking King Charles tradition. This, of course, is from July of 2024. The same people who are not hounding that yellow tooth, jigsaw-faced, backstabbing, loser, failure, and low-sided panty waist of a brother of his, they don't say anything about his taxes, of course. They just say, oh, well, he ain't going to talk about it. But anyway, King Charles voluntarily began to pay taxes on earnings from the Duchy of Cornwall in 1993, and Prince William also settled up, but he didn't publicly disclose the sum. He just chooses not to. You know, maybe yeah, I'm not even going to speculate. He just chooses not to. Madness. Madness. More houses needed? It's hard enough to choose which one to live in as it is. One's palaces, right? So I tell you, the lifestyles of the 1%. There we go. Okay, moving on. Oh, you know what? You couldn't see that, could you? You could not see that. There we go. That's where I was. You know what? I was switching a different screen. Okay, Prince William is not revealing what he paid in taxes, breaking King's Charles tradition. Anyway, I just went over that. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn the screen. And this is the other thing that I was reading. More houses needed. It's hard enough to choose which one to live in as it is. So there you go. And of course, let us not forget cash for honors. The cash for honors scandal. There's Charles with his Fortnum and Mason bags of cash. And of course, the transparent briefcase. If you could see through it, it would also probably have loads of cash in it. What's in my bag? Don't worry, is for charity. He 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 he. I love that photo. And of course, there is David Cameron, the man who has made it so easy for the royal family to cost the British taxpayers, also known as the king's subjects, over 500 million pounds a year, according to Republic. During the Queen's declining years, they weaponized the Queen's age and made it very easy to solve a problem that the royal family had. And that was, of course, how to get more money out of the parliament. Well, David Cameron made it easy. While he was denying reparations to Jamaica and other countries, he thought it to be a good idea to make sure that the royal family can have a surplus of cash every year for doing little or no work. And this is a little image that I saved after the Queen died. This is depicting the wealth of the sovereign. Now, when the Queen was alive, the Guardian chose not to write about certain things. But when the Queen died, if you remember, there was a deluge of articles covering the finances of the royal family. It's as though they were trying to destroy the monarchy. And, it didn't really trigger any conversation on television or on these podcasts and such. It just kind of came and went. But every day, for how long was it? They just kept running article after article about offshore accounts and taxes and estates and so on. The Duchy of Cornwall, the Duchy of Lancaster. It was beautiful. But again, not much came of it. They just kind of ran the articles. There wasn't much said about it. And then it just kind of went away. It died off. But I don't know. I would like to review some of those at some point just to see exactly where we were, because it was so much going on with the Queen's death. It was just like it was the perfect time to hide those articles in plain sight. And conspicuous wealth. During the time of austerity, during the time when the government is asking people to get by with less rather, when they're trying to shrink the NHS, and of course the Tories, I believe they were trying to destroy the NHS. Um, you have the king and the queen consort putting on quite a display of wealth and privilege, again, at a time of austerity. So they're going to be their own undoing, I'm sure. Now, I haven't spoken much about Tim Wilson lately. I'm going to say this much. I am monumentally disappointed with Tim Wilson. Not that I thought that in any way that he was anything more than what he has been, and that's a monarchist and very loyal to the crown. And, and that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, I don't have it in for anyone that believes in that institution. It does not affect me directly. And it is a way of life for so many people. They just couldn't imagine not having it. Just like until January the 6th, I could not imagine a country where there was not a peaceful transfer of power at the very highest level of government. And yet, January 6th happened. So, anyway, Tim Wilson said some very, very nice things about Meghan. And that's what caught my attention. What makes me disappointed with him is that after the incredible display of statesmanship that Harry put on at the United Nations, although he's not a statesman, he's just a prince of the realm who happens to live in America, but he did appear as a global statesman. He definitely is a global leader, right? An advocate. He made no mention of it. And I do mean absolutely no mention of it. If there was any place where he did mention Harry in New York, I totally missed it. But I was looking for it. I was looking for it. I have not seen it yet. So I'm very disappointed with him. However, I do approve of the things that he said about Meghan.
Whenever they put their son.
Okay. Let me find that. And I thought it was very nice. I thought he struck just the right tone. Here we go.
There's a revelation in Boris Johnson's memoir, Unleashed, apparently, that provides an intriguing glimpse into the behind-the-scenes efforts to prevent Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from stepping back from their royal duties. It appears that Johnson, then freshly victorious from his election win and in the midst of Brexit negotiations, was asked to play an unconventional role in the royal saga as mediator and motivator. The idea of a manly pep talk, as it's described in the front page of the Times today, suggests that those in power believe that a personal, straightforward conversation from one prominent public figure to another could sway Prince Harry's decision. And this reflects a significant misunderstanding of the couple's resolve at that point. Harry and Meghan's departure from their roles was not just a spur-of-the-moment decision, but rather a culmination of months, if not years, of growing discontent with their position within the royal family and the pressures they face from both the media and the institution itself. Last night, for the first time ever, I watched Suits, and I thought it was captivating, and Meghan Markle was captivating. She was very much showcased in that series, and she appears every so often and has a decisive encounter with the main characters. And she is the part is so well written and so well played. I find it extraordinary that the British establishment could have found it so difficult to accommodate her. The fact that Johnson acknowledged the effort as totally hopeless in retrospect is telling. It indicates that Harry had already made up his mind, and no amount of persuasion from the Prime Minister could alter the course of action. Johnson's remark about it being a great shame for the UK to lose the couple highlights the broader concern within the establishment. Harry and Meghan were seen as assets to the monarchy and the country, contributing to international goodwill through their charitable work and their modernizing influence. The episode is a microcosm of the complexities of modern monarchy, where personal choices of its members have a significant public and diplomatic repercussion. It also showcases the unexpected intersections between politics and royalty, where Johnson was dragged into the mix during a particularly tumultuous period in British history. The memoir, likely to cover many such instances.
Okay, that's enough of that. That was all he had to say about Harry and Meghan. It was a missed opportunity. You cannot go back and unring the bell, and it's over with. It was actually lots of plotting against any success of Harry and Meghan from conception. It came from Kensington Palace. I believe it came from Bucklebury. If you know, you know. I also believe it was something conjured up at Clarence House. But whatever the case may be, it seems as though the late Queen played a somewhat different role than what a lot of people had considered at the time, meaning that it didn't seem like she was working against them so much as people thought that she was or assumed that she was. But whatever the case may be, is over with, and there's no going back. And again, I'm very disappointed that he didn't devote one of his little short segments to Harry in New York. I know for sure that considering what he has said in the past, he could not likely have missed it. But he just decided that there was more important things to talk about. So whatever the case may be, again, I'm very disappointed. That was something that I feel should have been celebrated. If you have the affection for Harry that you have claimed in the past, then you should have spoke about it. But he did not. He neglected to speak about that. Let's see. Maggie ABC, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here on Royal Sussex. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't share as much affection for Meghan. That's for sure. I don't think that a lot of times he kind of leaves Meghan out of his I guess conversation about Harry. He kind of leaves Meghan out of it a great deal of the time. But whatever the case may be, like I said, it doesn't bother me that he's a complete royalist and monarchist. That's the life that he knows. And I don't expect him to abandon his sentiments because if you look at monarchy in the way that most monarchists do, you are very forgiving of someone like Charles with his infidelity and stupidity. You are very forgiving of someone like William, who obviously, I mean, believe me, there's a lot of people that know what Kensington Palace is guilty of. But there's no scenario where they wake up in the morning and there's no monarchy. They're not going to punish the monarchy. There's no punishing the monarchy. It happened, and that's all to it. They don't expect apologies from the monarchy. There's, most people, they don't expect their leadership to apologize. They want their leadership to do better. They don't expect those in the ruling class to ever apologize. So that's the system. That's the way it has been, and it's not likely to ever change. However, the way people relate to them, the way people see them, and of course, they will lose a lot of respect because we are in a social media age. We are in a information age, and people are very much more aware of how things work and who benefits. So they're not always going to have the level of support that they have, but you can expect someone, like Professor Wilson to change his sentiments because that's as much a part of him as anything else that makes up his identity. So it is what it is. But yeah, I do believe that is mostly his affection for Harry and very, very, very sparse appreciation for Meghan. So, but there you go. But yeah, so those two, the misfits, they're stuck with them, and you just wait and hope for the next generation to be better than the last. And so the thing about having an heir to the throne is you always have someone else to look to, and you just hope that that person is better. It's not like having an elected head of state where you know that, yeah, they can do some serious damage, but guess what? When their term of office is done, they're done. At least that's the way it's supposed to be. Like I said, the only time in my life that I've ever seen that there was not a peaceful transfer of power was back in January the 6th, 2021, was it? That was the only time I'd ever seen something like that. So, okay. Let me see. What else do I have here? Prince William sought assurance from the late Queen over concerns about Meghan's wedding. Again, we have the Express. Prince William reportedly felt so conflicted about his brother's upcoming marriage that he sought assurance from his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. It's been claimed. It was reported many felt within the royal family that Prince Harry was getting married to Meghan far too soon, which we've heard this before. After dating for 2 years with concerns regarding the speed at which the relationship developed. These simmering concerns allegedly saw William reach out to his grandmother for a special and significant guarantee. What might that be, weirdo? Um, well, anyway, that freak show William, according to Robert Jobson in Catherine's memoir, The Princess of Wales, the biographer, the brothers' relationship quickly deteriorated before the 2018 nuptials. Again, not news. By the time William was confirmed as best man, the relationship had worsened, he claimed in the book. I had been told that, still concerned about the match, he sought assurance from the grandmother that Harry's bride would not be wearing Princess Diana's jewelry, even though his own wife was allowed to wear it. Now, I think that caused a bit of confusion, and I explain that in just a second. I appreciate your work so much. Thank you, Maggie. And thank you again for the super chat. That was very, very kind of you to say that, and I appreciate it. Okay, so despite the sharp digs and thin skin on both sides of the wedding at Windsor in May of 2018 was a spectacular success. In the public, the royal family were all smiles, though privately they were at daggers drawn rather. Boy, that sounds so medieval, doesn't it? It's been reported that the pair have not spoken since their grandmother's funeral back in 2022. Prince Harry claims William had screamed at him in front of Queen regarding the Duke's decision to leave the UK and set up a new life with Meghan in the United States in January of 2022. The ones, wait a minute, January 20. Oh, that's what happened during the Queen's funeral? Wow. No, wait a minute. Let me do that again. William had screamed at him in front of the Queen. Okay, I get it. Regarding, but 2022, that can't be right. That should be 2020, shouldn't it? Yeah, I think that should be 2020. Anyway, the once close brothers' relationship has now completely deteriorated and is reportedly non existent due to allegations made by the Duke in his memoir, Spare. Or how about due to the leaking and briefing that came from Kensington Palace? It's not just according to the book, it's according to we know what happened. We have concrete evidence that there has been leaking and briefing. Okay, so what I think this has to do with is, oh, let me finish this. I forgot about these two paragraphs. Let me finish this one. In the book, Harry claims that William grabbed him, but okay, I don't want to talk about that. Sister-in-law allegedly began disagreeing with each other during the build-up to the wedding. Okay, old news. This is what I think they're talking about. When they say Princess Diana's jewelry, there are some people that I saw in the comments that said, not here, of course, but elsewhere, that they said that Meghan has worn Princess Diana's jewelry. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the jewelry that has been on loan to Kate Middleton from the royal collection. It has nothing to do with the aquamarine ring that Meghan was gifted from Harry, which Harry inherited from Princess Diana's own personal jewelry collection. Diana had her personal jewelry, and then Diana wore the jewelry from the family vault, right? And that was, of course, up until the divorce. Diana would wear pieces from the official jewelry collection, which had nothing to do with her own personal jewels that she gifted to her children. So, yes, there were the two diamonds set into the ring that Harry designed himself for Meghan. There is the butterfly earrings. There's also the Cartier tank watch, and I'm sure a few other pieces that I can't think of. But William did not want Meghan to wear any, like the lover's knot tiara. The stuff that he was so concerned about, I don't suspect it was pieces that Meghan would have been keen to wear anyway, especially if lazy Kate had wore them. I'm pretty sure she would not have felt any desire to wear something like that. However, if the Queen would have offered pieces of jewelry to Meghan to wear, and it just so happens that that is the same jewelry that Diana had worn, I'm pretty sure Meghan would likely have not refused, right? Or she would have very, kindly declined to wear it and perhaps chose something else to wear. But these are two different sources of jewelry. So what Meghan has worn that was gifted to her from Harry, that Harry inherited from Diana, that is Meghan's to keep. Otherwise, the other jewelry is part of the royal collection. And let's just say that it really doesn't belong to anybody directly, because whoever is sovereign is just a custodian of that property that will be passed down from one generation to the next. not likely ever put up for sale unless they really hit hard times, unless they're deposed and the government forces them to sell these pieces. Then they are just going to rotate in and out of the collection as they have for, you know, 100 years or so. So it's a non thing. And William just was being very reactive and making sure that Meghan, in his thinking, would always be beneath that lazy person that he's married to. Leg says, how do these revelations look good for William? It makes him look controlling, vicious, and petty. Harry is Diana's child too. William basically has tried to propel himself as the heir to Diana's memory. It doesn't make him look good, but the people that work for William, they feed his ego by helping him with these vendettas and these controlling actions, and it does make him look irrational and ridiculous. But to the royalists, and I'm afraid that includes Dr. Tim Wilson or Professor Tim Wilson, you just wait for the next lunatic to come along and then the next, and you just hope for the better. But whatever they do, they will always be forgiven. And it seems as though, as long as they have this cozy relationship with the press, there's always going to be someone to help them fight their corner. I don't suspect they have found the missing jewels. Yeah, it's so obvious that William has a problem, and their their goal is to try to manage William. They're just going to try to manage him as best they can. But eventually, all of the people that disagree with William or that have the ability to speak up, they're going to leave. They're going to leave if they exist at all. He needs someone that's close enough to him, that's not afraid of him, that knows how things work. That's the type of person that he needs with him, which of course would have been Harry, which is why they just could not afford to allow Harry to leave. They had to put up a fight to try to keep him there. They could not say this in front of William. William thought for certain that he and Kate, this is what's so comical. He thought that he and Kate would be able to shoulder the burden of their duties, that they could elevate themselves, uplift, and carry out all of these duties and outshine the Sussexes. I do believe they have given up on that. William did not go to New York. That's William throwing in the towel. Um, William telling Kate to stay home when he made those last trips abroad. That was his last hurrah. That was the last attempt William had to try to show that he can stand shoulder to shoulder against his brother. But I think he's given up now. I really do believe that this idea that they're going to outshine the Sussexes, somebody must have talked to him. Somebody has spoken to him and told him, you know what, that strategy doesn't work. Oh, we're still going to help you conspire against them, but the whole move for move type of thing, I knew it was not going to last for Kate. I could not imagine Kate getting much further than where she was around Christmas. She looked exhausted, frustrated, withered, and on the verge of collapse. And who knew how accurate that was? I said, "Don't worry about it. She is not going to last that long. This is unsustainable for her." And sure enough, um, the emergency surgery, whatever, I didn't know what was going to happen exactly. I just knew it was unsustainable. And as for William, same thing. William is not consistent. He will show up some days and he will disappear other days, which to me sounds like someone who has a serious problem. But both of them, they're not cut out for it. Even without the tools at the disposal of Will and Kate, Harry and Meghan has managed to make a huge success of every tour, a huge success, whether it's just an overnight visit or whether they're gone for several days. They have made a huge success of it. They have not put a foot wrong, not one single time. They haven't done anything to disgrace the family. They haven't had any miscalculations as far as any diplomatic things, nothing. It has all been picture perfect. Whereas the last time those other two misfits went on the road, all we could remember was shaking hands with black kids through a chain link fence, dressed up in that what is it, that colonizer cosplay, right? Kate tries to go abroad by herself. She goes to Denmark, and they're still trying to figure out why she was there. Why did she walk in front of the queen? Which, of course, is a faux pas. You don't do that. That's not protocol. You're not supposed to walk in front of the queen. She literally walked in front of the queen. She was so used to being so important back in the UK that she was too stupid not to realize that you don't walk in front of the queen of another country. She outranks you. And she did it anyway. Stupid. She was late. The palace staff tried to bully the media over in Denmark. It was a failure. That trip was a failure. There is no such thing as a monumental royal tour from Will and Kate. Pakistan, they cut back on the coverage. The people found them boring. And Australia, you don't hear any mention of Will and Kate from Australia. Lackluster, boring, boring. Uh, Maggie, ABC, you're spoiling me here. Let me see. Your podcast is the best. Pity I often miss the lives because of the time difference. I'm so sorry about that, but thank you so much for being here today. And thank you again for the super chat. But yes, it is unfortunate, but I have been thinking long and hard about doing a different hour of the day. Lately, this has been working for me better, but have faith. It may change at some point, but I really do appreciate you being here. Okay. Now, I'm just about done. We're going to close with these images of William. Someone took to the AI and conjured up, actually, the AI conjured up these images of William, which improves his appearance tenfold and also uh, is a bit of a fantasy because this William appears to actually work. And look at the airline William with those little limp wrists. Look at how narrow and thin those wrists are. His wrists are likely to just fly off of his arm if he's not careful because they're so thin and tapered. But he looks very handsome there. And you know what? AI really messes up because look at the width of that plane. There's only one seat on each side, right? And actually, I had to edit this photo because this photo, there was like a really big problem with the hands, and there were some fingers that were hanging down in front of his jacket beneath the other hand. and I got rid of those so that it would look more normal. But yeah, one thing AI constantly screw up is hands. They just don't know. The program doesn't know what to do with hands. They don't know how they work. Marsha Williams, thank you so much for the super chat, super sticker, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, if William, look at there, they got the microphone pushed away from him again. The AI made a mistake, but yeah, if William actually was a singer, let's hope it doesn't come to that. And William the garbage collector. I'd like to see that one actually. Um, again, well, no, you know what? That looks more like him. That one he doesn't look as attractive. Yes, those little thin, tapered, little girly wrist of his. Look at there. He looks very. Hey, girlfriend, how you doing? Very Wendy Williams wrist. How you doing? How you doing? uh, and of course, I guess this is William the coal miner or sewer worker or whatever. Yes, if William actually worked in the sewers of of London or whatever, um, and that he's down on all fours. Why doesn't that? Why does he look so natural down on all fours? I'm not sure. For some reason, he looks very natural down on all fours in a tunnel. Whose tunnel is unclear, but in a tunnel. Um, Probably searching for a pulled pork sandwich. Oh, that's so bad. That is so bad. And of course, William helping somebody kid getting ready for school there. Uh, yeah, yeah. I tried to match up some background photos that I thought would, enhance the picture. So I selected these backgrounds myself. Okay, and William, look at that, look at that hand. Look at the hand. Anyway, William, what is that? A Fogue bag? What does that say? Anyway, William's out doing some shopping. Yeah, if William was just a normal bloke, just an everyday person, not special in any way, this is probably what he would do. He'd probably, you know what? I kind of think the flight attendant, that is probably where William would have ended up. Flight attendant. I'm just saying. Flying back and forth to Poland looking for that pulled pork sandwich. And William the dishwasher. Yeah, there he is. Scrubbing pans and in some dank little kitchen somewhere. uh, if he had to get by on his own wit, what is he doing? Cleaning some chitlins? Yeah. Well, if he had to get by on his own wit, then that's probably where you would find him. And this one right here, I guess if he was being sworn in as looks like president of the United States or something. Looks like he's an elected politician. Yeah. Interesting that there's a glove on. Look at that little tiny hand that has a glove and then the other one doesn't. AI. And notice that it's a woman wearing a red hood, like what is that? You know, a handsmaid's tale. Yeah, like a handsmaid tale. Yeah, these actually came from the someone on Reddit. And I do believe Muriel, who has been so helpful to Royal Sussex. I believe she brought these to my attention. Someone just sent me a PayPal. Thank you so much for that. Let me see, who is this from? Oh, thank you, LH. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you for the laughs. Let me see. Okay, I can't see the rest of it because I've been having trouble trying to figure out how to open these things. So I only just got that glimpse of it, but thank you so much. All right, thank you. Okay, and I guess the same person who created the AI of Charles and Camilla, which, by the way, Camilla looks so much more normal here. She doesn't look drunk at all. Uh, I think that's why she looks normal, because she doesn't look inebriated. Usually she kind of looks like she's a bit overserved, but here she almost looks normal. And Charles has normal hands. Instead of catcher's mitts, he's got normal hands. So, and with that, you all, that's it. Okay, almost an hour. Yeah, not the 30 minutes that I was hoping, but let me see. Okay, so that should do it. Anyway, let's look forward to some images of Harry tomorrow from Well Child. And okay, you know what? I could not remember what this thumbnail was used for, but I think it was that one where Charles yelled about the umbrella for Camilla, and then the courtier who came out looked like he tried to drag her down to the ground with it. It's like they chose that as the moment to get even. It's as though they thought, okay, I've been meaning to get even with this person anyway. And so they used that as an excuse to kind of, snatch it down on her head or something. I'm sure that's not the case, but it's fun to think about, though, isn't it? I'm thinking of some expletives that I thought would go with that. But see, you have to be careful when you try to take on somebody like Camilla, because, well, you know what happened to Princess Anne. Seemed like she got the business end of a hoofed animal, and I'm sure the same thing that could happen to a courtier should they um, get out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well. All right. So thank you very much. Love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully earlier. Hopefully earlier. Let's see how it goes. Um, let's see. Yeah, that's it. Oh, thank you, Beverly McCaskill. Good night, Mary H. Antoinette Kennedy. Patricia Ann Franklin. Thank you, Joy Moore. Mamie Ricks, Benny Blair, Lady T, Carol. Oh my goodness. Lady Sussex, I didn't know you were here. I didn't finish watching today's video. Um, I was like, wow, 3 hours. It's making me rethink. This is why I'm trying to shorten up some of my videos, because I it's good to have a marathon like that, but I don't want to do, especially like today. What if I did 3 hours today? That would be taking up too much of everybody's time. But let me find the link for Lady Sussex so you guys can watch it. It's the Sunday morning that we have been missing for quite some time since Tina and Michelle has gone away. But we do have an alternative, and it is good. So I think I'm like about a half hour into it. Uh, Let me see here. Tell you what, I stayed up watching last night. I was watching Vicious. I had actually never seen Vicious before with what's his name, Ian McKellen. I'd never seen that before. Oh my God, is it good? So funny, and they get to cuss too. So, oh, thank you, Lydia Washington. I was um, just at that point, and you're there. So, thank you very much. Let me put this at the top of the chat. You all, please go over and like and subscribe and share. There we go at the top of the chat. That is the Lady Sussex, Meghan Markle, real life Cinderella. Lady Sussex is the host. Charles and George. So there's a real conversation, and it is refreshing. Let me see here. Okay. So there we go. Maggie says, I listen nearly every night, sleepy despite the time difference. But tonight morning, I'm pretty awake and ready to say thank you. Well, thank you so much, Maggie. I'm now I'm wishing I had a marathon for you. But don't worry, we're gonna probably have a lot to cover tomorrow with Harry over in the UK. So, but yes, and you all make sure you pray for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, because it seems as though, you know, it's not just because of jealousy. It's not just because of the idea that they are outshining the other ones, but they're also trying to cover for the fact that that institution is costing 500 million pounds or more every year, right? And they need to try to cover for that. Also, there is other things going on in the family, like the fact that the next king and queen barely work. So any distraction that they can find, they'll take it. And Harry and Meghan, because they have been taking the high road, it has made them a very easy target, but not so easy because it seems like there is a pushback. Now, I don't know if it's coming directly from the Sussexes. I don't know if it's coming from people associated with the Sussexes. I don't know where it's directly coming from, but I'm glad for it, because if you do not define yourself, then your enemy will define you. They say that all the times in politics. You never allow your enemy to define who you are. And that can be a serious problem, because people's perceptions are based on sound bites in this day and age. And it's just a very unfortunate truth, is that the sound bite is pretty much what masses of people use to decide whether or not you're an honest broker. And that cannot happen. So there's only so much that we can do to push back, but sometimes it needs to come from someplace different, someplace with a broader audience. And I will say, from my experience, I think there's a lot less of the Royal Rota on American television. They're not given the blank slate where they can just slander Harry and Meghan as they were doing in the past, and that's a good thing. It's costing the Royal Rota money to work as they have been working to try to maintain business as usual because trust and believe they miss that American money. And let me give you something else to look forward to. Omid Scobie, that project that he's working on, Omid Scobie has been run out of the UK. You all know that. He's been run out of the UK, so to speak. Not directly, but I don't even know if it's safe for him to be there anymore. That being said, he's in the US now, and I do believe that the tabloids are trying to find some link or connection with the Sussexes. He don't need it. He's been working for ABC for years. He doesn't need to try to make a link or connection. He has connections here, right? So he doesn't need it. He don't need Harry and Meghan to do introductions. They're not his source of power. His power is his history with the Royal Rota. He's had the inside track on how those things work. So look forward to that. Don't forget, he has a project coming up, and there was a bidding war to see who was going to get the production rights. So that is something to look forward to. To me, that seems like a really good way to push back. Okay. So again, thank you, Maggie ABC. Appreciate that. And I'll just take a quick look through here. Oh, you like it too? It wasn't that many episodes, right? It wasn't that many episodes. I watched, 2 seasons? And then they were done? I checked. I thought it was just the 2 seasons. And that there was 7 episodes the first season, and then whatever was after, and then it was done. So, but it was very funny. I was in here with tears laughing. It was so funny. I haven't laughed at a sitcom like that in years. Oh, that's okay. It's like I said, it's a real conversation and I enjoy it. I really do. The banter and is very sophisticated yet very easy to understand. Um I love it. It's so refreshing. It's a great dialogue that the three of you have. So um like I say, I look forward to it on my Sundays. So um, the more, the merrier. But if you need to take some time for something else, then that's totally understandable. But we really appreciate it, though. We really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. And I'm going to finish today's or yesterday's by now. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, I think that was it. Let me see here. Anything else? Okay. All right, I think we're good. So let me see. What are we going to play out with? Why not the salsa? Yeah, maybe the salsa. We'll play out with the salsa. Okay, let me find the best link that I can. Okay, I didn't watch it from just one source. Um, but what I had to do was I had to just like search for Vicious season 1, Vicious season 2. So, because I don't think every episode was from the same source, but I can at least start you off with the first episode. How's that? So, I will find the link for that and I'll put that on the screen for you. And then good luck after that. And someone said the dog. Oh my God, the dog, the dog, the dog. It was all about that dog. Okay. Is this season 1, episode 1? Oh boy, and I cried when one of the characters left the show. I don't want to say which one, but I cried when that happened. That was so touching. Okay. I'm looking at my history. I just want to make sure I find a good link for you. Season 1 is what I'm looking for. Oh, there we go. There we go. Wow, can you believe that premiered 11 years ago? 11 years ago that premiered. Okay. Wait, did I do it? Oh. Okay, that's it. That's the very first episode. And I didn't put it at the top of the chat, did I? Okay, let me do that. Okay, I'm going to pin it, I hope. Okay, there it is. I just pinned it to the top of the chat. So remember, it's not that many episodes. I think it's 7 episodes for the first season. And then the next season, it seems like there's 7, but the last episode covered like, I think it was an hour long. So anyway, check it out. So morbidly funny. It is a very morbid, dark humor. Love it.
It is indeed a good afternoon and such a blessing and joy to be with you. Prince Harry, thank you.
Oh, wait, I just see that something, what was this, 20 minutes ago? 20 seconds ago? I see that Lady Sussex posted something else. Okay, I'm going to, I think this is what you all were talking about earlier today. Oh, okay. I tell you what, I will post that one on the community tab. That's what I'll do. Okay, and so I'm going to go, and we'll talk about Vicious tomorrow. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Good morning. God bless.